Oh, hello, 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 hello. Oh, there you go, change that. Sorry, if you came here at the start of the hour, like, 20 minutes ago, let's actually turn this down a bit more. You may have noticed, wasn't streaming on Twitch, but was streaming on YouTube, and that's because I didn't have multi-stream set up, so I had to set it up very quickly. But apart from that, hello, 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 everyone. How are we all doing? Hope we're all good. I'm doing fine, thank you for all asking, obviously. If you can hear any sort of construction work, that's because I have my I have my back door open. Oi oi. Because it's really hot here, and it's hot. Sue me. But to be fair, I think they've stopped for lunch now, so hopefully they'll be quiet for a bit longer. But no, how's everyone been? Hope you had a good middle of the week, I guess. God, it feels like a Wednesday, but I guess it's not. Today we're going to be carrying on with and what we're probably going to be carrying on with for the next couple of weeks are the card abilities and getting the card system, or at least the abilities down. We started it last stream. I actually forget what happened at the beginning of last stream. But we started that at the end of last stream, and we're going to continue with it today. I've done some prepping off stream. So hopefully all will go smoothly. So I do have a plan. Let's bring the whiteboard out again. Here we are. Let me just go ahead. So here's the plan. Dev stream 4. I keep having to change all the right. Okay, before this, I need to complain about YouTube for a little bit. First of all, got a new YouTube short / TikTok out about parallax in parallax movement in games. So go check that out. And all my other shorts and TikToks, all links are down below. Apart from TikTok, I should probably actually put that link down below. Toby A. Jackson should check it out. But apart from that, yes, YouTube. Anytime you lose connection to a stream, so basically I schedule my Twitch streams, and then in the multi-stream setup in Streamlabs, I can just select the scheduled stream from YouTube, and it's really handy. But anytime the stream does go down and it just cuts out from YouTube, it ends the stream, but you can't start it in the same scheduled stream. So I've started the next one and then changed the name, and it's a bit of a hassle. But this time, because multi-stream fucked up, I had to. So I went, okay, so stream 4, okay, I'm gonna have to delete that and then start stream 5, change stream 5 to stream 4. So I edit the name, I'm not streaming, and then it starts streaming. And I've got nothing to stream. So then I had to end that one, edit it. Delete it. And then on the schedule for stream 6, I changed that one to stream 4. And so that's what you're watching now. So a bit of a hassle, but here we are. Twitch doesn't have that problem. But then again, we can't do proper scheduled streams or proper discoverability on Twitch, so whatever. Anyway, complaining over, back to this. Dev stream 4. Oop, there we go. Quite a simple one, not a big list today, because the big stuff's coming in the last part. But first of all, I'm going to talk you through the changes I made off stream. I made a big old list of the card sets. Number 1, set up the demo chest. So, because we're doing the demo, all the card chests, or the card packs, as they basically are, all the cards aren't going to be in the demo. So I need to create a demo-only card pack, essentially, with the demo-only cards. And so I'll show you through that at the start. And then need to set up just 2 extra things that will help to just make development a lot nicer for the card abilities, and that's just a nice way to change the player speed and a way to change the player's power, which is something the player power is something I did off stream. I'll tell you about that when I get to it, and then we create the card abilities in essentially whatever order I feel like. Yay. So that's essentially the plan. So yeah, I think we should get started with it. It's about time now. Right. So let's. Yes. So the changes. Yeah. Let's go to the changes. So in my game design document, let's switch to here. Oh, in my game design documents, I will put the chat box up as well. Hopefully you can see that. I had this big table about all the card chests, and essentially the card chests are booster packs, so like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, things like that. And I originally had them for the Fire, Water, Earth, Air, the armor ones, the boost, and all the different cards in those. We didn't have the demo one, so I added the demo chest card pack. Cards available normally in the first arc, in arc 1, you're going to have 80 cards, so essentially 40 cards for fire, 40 for water, 40 for earth, 40 for air. I've selected a handful in the fire water card, in the fire water chest, to be put in the demo, because the fire water chest is the first one you're going to get. A bit warm. So the cards available in that from the AT are 24 cards, and there'll be 5 in a pack, 5 in a chest. You have 3 commons, 1 uncommon, 1 rare above, and then this is sort of the guaranteed in chest. So you get 1 armor card and its finisher, and then 3 basic boosts. And so basically added that in. It's very similar to the Fire Water, just a bit smaller. Other change I did is at the end of the last stream, I the different card sets and what's in them. So for the armor contents, it's 3 commons, 2 uncommons, 1 rare, 1 super rare, 1 legendary, 2 bodies, 2 left arms, 1 right arm, 1 left leg, 2 right legs, and then boost cards, same there. And then programming and art. I'm only really going to focus on the programming for the next couple of weeks, and then I'll do the art way in like a month or 2 later, after I get all the other bits with UI and level design down. So I shifted down the Glorious Phoenix and Rocketeer cards into card set 2 and their finishers. So that means a bunch of new cards and their finishers. So we've got Flame Fist. That's been added in. Rattling Snake. That's been added in. And Flame Fist, Irritating Ant, and Rattling Snake, and Water Wave. Those are the 4 new armor cards that have been added. And I've also written all the mains and passives and all the other abilities, and I'm going to go through each one and just give you a general idea. And then the finisher for Dragonic Knight is Dragonic Strike. The finisher for Fire Fist, Flame Fist, is Infernal Punch. Irritating Ants is Burning Fire Ants. Rattling Snake, Fire Snake. The pirate one is Bullseye Patch. Danger Shark from the Depths. Chill Ice is Cool Up. And then Water Wave is called The Drown. And then Shield 1, Power 1, Bandage 1. Those are all finished. I'll get to those in a minute. I mean, we'll have to do one quick thing in a couple of them, just at the start. But they're all basically finished because they're very simple ones. And then we have Full Hands, Flare, Boost, and Aqua Boost hidden, and then Energy Wall. So those are the 24 cards that are going to be made over the next couple of weeks, programming wise at least. So I'll quickly go over just each one, what they do. And I've actually sorted out their passives and everything. So, so I'll talk you through those and how the passives are probably going to work. Now, some of these, I will say, some of the passives. So the armors only have the passives, by the way, and then the other, the basic cards that start here only have one ability. But some of the passives aren't exactly. I guess technically you can't really call them passives. So, for instance, Chill Ice's passive is just a speed increase. That is a passive thing. You don't. A passive ability is essentially an ability that happens, but you don't have. It just happens normally or naturally. You don't have to activate it. Whereas stuff like the Dragonic Knight passive is a percentage. When you hit an enemy, it gives a percentage chance of dealing or giving the burn condition. I guess technically not a passive because you are doing something, but it's I called it that. So anyway, Dragonic Knight, a card we've already worked on, card you've already seen. It's the sword, it's the red sword, and like I said, it's passive. It does sharp damage. I may change it to sharp and burn, but it's probably just going to be sharp for now. And then it's passive. It's a percentage when hitting an enemy. It gives the burn condition to them. Flame Fist. This is a common card, so it doesn't. It's quite simple. So it just does fire and blunt damage punches with sort of low damage. But, and this is where player power will come in, and I'll explain to you. Its passive is a percentage when hitting an enemy. The player power increases by 0.1. So, player power. Your player power starts at 1, and any damage or any time you attack, the damage, and it has to be you actually attacking. So, for instance, if you give the burn condition, which does heat damage over time, your player power won't play into that because you're not damaging them. It's like a status effect, it's a condition. But anytime you punch or you swing your sword or you activate an ability, your player power is times by the amount of damage you're doing. So because normally it's 1, it's going to be, say, for the Dragonic Sword, it's 100 times 1, it's just 100. But your player power can increase, and for the Flame Fist instance, it can increase by 0.1. It has a percentage chance of increasing. I think I'm capping it at 2, so you can only double your damage. But essentially, the more time... Flame Fists, I guess, is quite weak at the start, but the more you do use it, the more it helps it gain more power, and other abilities gain power. And there are other abilities in here, like Power 1, that gains a temporary boost to damage for an amount of time, which increases your play power. So that's player power. That's something I haven't really spoken about or implemented yet. I've sort of half implemented it on the side, but we just have to change something with it, and then we can stop these cards. So that's its passive. Irritating Ant. It lets out this sort of swarm of damaging ants. They won't even look like ants. They'll just like weird, moving clouds. You know those dynamic animation clips that you see in like r/Unity that happened like a couple years ago. It made me look like something like them. But they can split up into like I think a maximum of 4 small groups, and then latch onto enemies and start damaging them. And then its passive is a percentage when hitting an enemy, the ants inflict the stun condition. I do need to, and I'll write this down actually on my whiteboard, is to discuss whether we want these percentage when hit to only occur on this specific ability, or if you attack or use any other ability. Well, I mean that, for instance, percentage when hitting an enemy for Flame Fist, it should probably only be when using Flame Fist and not just any other attack. But it's something to consider. So I'll write that down just underneath here. Consider passive activate. Consider passive activation. Yeah, I know what I mean when I write that. There we go. Just something to think about, but I think I am going to have it as Flame Fist can only activate the Flame Fist's passive, Irritating Ant can only activate Irritating Ant's passive, things like that. When attacking. Rattling Snake. So does sharp damage that gives the burn condition. So a little. This is the left or right leg. This is the right leg. So a little snake will come out. When you activate it, it will come out and it will sort of go to like the closest enemy in front of you and bite them. That's sort of the image I have of it. Oh, not there. And it will do sharp damage and then give the burn condition, and then a percentage when you get hit, when the player gets hit, it will just give out the burn condition. So that's sort of a spin on that. So that's a bit more of a passive where you don't actually do anything, and if someone hits you, something will happen. And then we're into the water, because those are all fire groups. Now we're into the water group. Pirate Captain, Gun. We've seen Gun, made that off stream. This has quite a nice passive. So when an enemy is defeated, it drops bio or draw power, and normally you would have to go over it to pick it up. But Pirate Captain has a certain radius around them, and it sort of pulls it in close, kind of like the studs in Lego games. They sort of, I think there was in some, was it Lego Harry Potter? It was in some Lego game, I think, that, was it? I can't remember. It was, what am I thinking? It's in, when there's a thing you can pick up in some games, you know how it can just like sort of come close to you. It's essentially that. So you don't have to go over it and pick it up. So that's Pirate Captains. And then Danger Shark, we've seen this one as well. You go underground, you can't be hit, and you deal damage when you sort of run into people. So it's sort of a temporary invulnerability, and you can deal a little bit of damage. And then Danger Shark's passive, a percentage chance when killing an enemy, gain some health back. I kind of like that one. I kind of sort of imagined it's like a shark, ripping you to shreds and eating you, and then you gain some health back. Chill Ice. We've also seen this one. Areas of ice appear around you. I'm going to make it a bit more random, so it's not just there. That gives the slow condition and the freezing condition. And then the passive for Chill Ice is a speed increase. Just a flat speed increase whilst you have the armor on. And then Water Wave. So this is a bit of a interesting and sort of complicated one, but I like the idea of it. So you sort of have this ring of water that's going to be around you, or like a flat ring, a circle of water around you, that sort of pushes enemies back. But gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you can press the Water Wave ability button again to shoot it out in front of you, damaging enemies a hit. So sort of like that ability. So like, yeah. And then its passive is a chance for an enemy to miss a melee attack on you. I sort of thought of it like, it's water, so you sort of like, it's fluid, and that's sort of the vibe I got with this. We all good? Yeah, we're all good. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're all good. Okay. Always have to check because internet sometimes. But that's fine. I think we're all good. So now we're on so those are the armors, and I'm probably going to work on the armors next. But we'll see. Next is Draconic Strike. So this is the finisher enhancement card for Draconic Knight. I'll go over it again, just in case anyone's confused. So each armor card has 2 enhancement boost cards. So boost cards come in basic and enhancement. The basic ones are like, a shield, power, bandit, health increase. And then enhancement is linked to a armor card. And a armor card always has a finisher and then one other type. And the types or the categories are finisher, attack, and utility. So finisher is like a big damaging or a big buffing, like expensive boost card. Attack is sort of just like maybe another attack that's relevant to the armor. And then utility is a bit more, it doesn't really do damage, but it can like buff you and things like that. So for instance, Lion's Dominance is a utility for Pride Lion, which is a body, it has a shield, and then it does a roar that just pushes enemies back, so that's a utility. There's not many utility enhancements, but yeah. Lock on, I already did pull treasure close. So I might need to change that one a little bit, but actually, no, I think I like it. But never mind, we'll get to it later anyway. I like the idea of Pirate Captain, bringing the draw power, the bio close, because it's sort of like it's treasure, he's a pirate, things like that. And I've also set these to in progress because technically there's a version of this already started, so set them to in progress. So Dragonic Strike, lots of these are just going to be essentially, lots of the finishes are kind of just a bit more powerful versions of these the main abilities. Some do slightly different things, like also giving status conditions. I never know if it's status or status. That's something we could probably look up, actually. Hang on. I was about to put status versus status, but it's spelt the same. Versus... Oh no, it's not. It's or oh no, yeah. Status or status. How to status. Yeah, status. Yeah. Sorry for my poor American accent. Jesus Christ, I don't know what that was. Yeah, status. Yeah, cool. Got it. Status. Yeah, that's British. Yeah. It's like router. So status effects. Brilliant. So the Dragonic Strike one for Dragonic Knight, it just shoots out when you swing. It shoots out sort of like a wave, a fiery wave from your sword and deals damage. Very similar to, actually, if we go back here, that's similar to like. Oh, actually do it, will you? Oh my God! They're not going to do it, no. Whatever. Right. So that's that one. And all the finishes are generally a bit more expensive, but they need to be powerful so they're worth it, essentially. They'll kill most of the basic enemies in a single hit. Obviously, bosses, it may take not them down not that far. Infernal Punch for Flame Fist. So a stronger punch that knocks enemies back as well and gives them the burn condition. because it just did blunt and fire punches originally. And also you activate, so when you swipe, you activate these enhancement cards, you then have to activate the ability. Hello, Zlad. Yep, I'm making a game. I'm just going through the plan for the abilities, which are little cards. I've got, it's here in Unity. Why am I making a game? Because I'm a game dev and I want to. I think that's a simple reason. But yeah. Where was I? Yeah. Fame, fortune, women. No. I think I just want to. I have some skills I want to put to use. Do you do what you do for fame, fortune, and women? Whatever you do, I don't know. Fair enough. We'll go. Yeah, to each their own. I think so. Right. Where were we? You tried, but you failed. Why did you fail? I say why do you fail? It is a thing where lots of people sort of start and fail and things like that. But it's realistically, you just have to start small and sort of power through. And then once you make lots of little things, then you can start with making bigger and bigger things. That is true. This is a screenshot from Limbo. But hey, I mean, it is only temporary. I will say, I'm not gonna just rip their art off. You shouldn't rip artists off. Credit artists, all that. It's just a placeholder there for now. So I mean, like, I won't share, but it is a placeholder. Don't you worry. Where were we? There we are. Yeah, we're going over abilities right now. And just made a plan for them. So that was the Inferno Punch. Burning Fire Ants. Similar to the first one, but shoots out them out in sort of a cone, dealing more damage. And once they kill a target, then they can move on to another one, unlike the basic version. One last question. Go on, what's your last question? What's your... If the moral choice in the story is inconsequential for the gameplay, does it mean it's also inconsequential for the player? No, because I wouldn't necessarily say the story dictates gameplay and gameplay dictates story necessarily. There can be, not exciting gameplay and have a good story and vice versa. So I wouldn't say one holds the other one back. However, if you're not enjoying the story, or if it's not engaging, or if it is inconsequential, then it may just generally impact how you play it. But not, I wouldn't say it's... No, I wouldn't say that. What an interesting question. After talking about fame, fortune, and women. Fair enough. No problem. Fair enough. That's a really interesting question. Yep, feel free to follow and stay. Great questions. You asked really good questions. Fair enough. Yep, so that's Burning Fire Ants. And then we move on to Fire Fang, which is the Rattling Snake one. And instead of one snake, it's multiple snakes. And they do heat damage and the burn condition. Rather than just one. And it sort of does it in a radius around the player. Rather than just one outwards. Now we're on to the pirate captain. In Bullseye Patch, the bullets are faster and do more damage, and also lock on to enemies. the closest enemies. It's quite a simple one, I feel, and it does it for a certain amount of time. From the depths, this is actually a fun one that I do like. So normally you go underground, and then when you hit an enemy, it damages them. With this one, similar sort of thing, where you sort of create a funnel wherever you're going, and then that sort of drags enemies in, and when they get to sort of the center of this funnel, they take damage. A lot of these I'm going to have to think about off stream how I'm going to visually represent that, and then go from there. And also I might change them depending. So we'll see. Cool up, rather than just 4 or a random assortment of small little ice patches. It's sort of like maze in Overwatch, maze, sort of big ice radius that sort of freezes and stuns enemies. And then finally the drown for water wave. Instead of the circle shrinking, it grows larger and doesn't push enemies back, but slows and it slows them if they're caught in it. And once time is up, it deals a large amount of damage, essentially, when it sort of explodes. And so those are all the enhancements. So with the enhancements, you need to have the armor card equipped to use its specific enhancement. And now we're on to the basics. So the 3 I've done is Shield 1, which gains a small amount of temporary armor. Power 1 gains a small boost to damage, or I'll change small boost to damage to a small increase to player power for an amount of time. And then Bandage 1 heal a small amount of health. Full hands. So this is the one I'm going to play around with a little bit. Heal a small amount of health. Oh, no. Whoa. Sorry. Let me read the correct one. Full hands. So right now, it's when you use it, you draw 2 cards. If your hand is at a max hand size, the max hand size is 5 normally. Sorry. But what am I doing? Have I closed out of? Sorry. Oh yeah, I want to look here. Yeah. So the max hand size is 5 normally, and it temporarily then increases it by 2, and then you know once you use them, it goes back down to 5. I might change this to 3 cards because it's one of those things where what's the it's a spell in D&D and I've totally forgotten it and it's annoying, but it's quite a low level one, and essentially it gives you advantage on your next attack, on your next turn, but you could just do an attack now and an attack next turn. It's sort of it's sort of like, why are you doing it? And this is sort of, okay, so you're using draw power just to get essentially 1 extra card, because you're using a card to get 2. So, but, you know, it's one of those. So I might do it to get 3 extra cards, because then it feels a bit more worth it. But we're going to do 2 for now. It's still going to work the same way no matter how many cards you draw. It's going to increase the max hand size temporarily, things like that. So we're going to do 2 cards you draw. And then Flare Boost and Aqua Boost, these are 2 essentially the same. I need to sort of think how I want to do this because I haven't actually properly set up ways for these to work yet. So I might have to go back and add some variables to like the player controller, player manager, similar to player power. But so Flare Boost, it just increases the attack and the shortens the cooldown for fire-based armor abilities, and for Aqua, it just water-based armor abilities increases the attack and cooldown. Yeah. There you go. Like I said, I need to sort of I haven't really set up the infrastructure for being able to tell what type of ability has been used with armor, but I don't want to really do it inside each card, because then I'm just copying code, but we'll see how that works. And then the last two is hidden. You turn invisible for an amount of time, and then energy wall creates a wall of damaging energy, and that's just a simple attack. And it's basic. It's a basic simple attack. And I think the wall will stay up for quite a while. So, with all that said, I think now's the time to get started, unless anyone has any questions for class. And this is card set 2, so we won't worry about these yet. Like I said, Rocketeer, and also Glorious Phoenix are technically already in progress. Actually, no, Glorious Phoenix isn't. So the Glorious Phoenix ability that I was already messing with last stream, I think we saw last stream, it might be stream before, but it was like this sort of like dash. And that's what it was originally going to be. But Glorious Phoenix is a legendary card, which means it's meant to be really hard to get and meant to be really powerful. And its passive is a single revival if you die. Kind of like, you rise from the ashes. So it's meant to be really powerful. And also it's meant to be a ranged ability, not a utility. Because it's sort of like dashes. Unless it damages, then it's maybe a melee or ranged. It's more melee. But I was like, no, I like what Glorious Phoenix is. And I'll explain them as well. So this shoots out sort of like this phoenix, fire phoenix that damages if it hits, and then sort of splits and goes around and circles around, and then when the two phoenixes meet, they sort of explode, dealing damage. So it's sort of this really nice complicated attack where it can damage enemies forward, it will start hitting them and then damage them behind you as well, and also explode. There's quite a few like very simple ones, like Rattling Snake. It just damages and gives the burn condition, and then there's ones like Water Wave, which is like a circle of water, pushes enemies back and then sort of shrinks, and they can shoot it out afterward. So I don't know. I think you need a mix of those. Like I said, Shield, Power, and Bandage are basically done. One extra thing I also changed was, and we're going to get into more code stuff now. So originally, each card is a scriptable object, I think, like I already said. So if we go to cards, options, we go to basic. So here's like Bandage 1 and 2. So originally, and each scriptable object has a script assigned to it. So for Bandage 1 and 2, it's Bandage. However, I did before I had it as Bandage 1 and Bandage 2 had separate scripts. So there was a script called Bandage 1 and a script called Bandage 2. However, I then realized they're just doing the exact same thing. It's just Bandage 2 is more powerful than Bandage 1. And because they're scriptable objects, I can have multiple of them and just give them different values. So health here is 100, and it's a common card for Bandage 1, and for Bandage 2, it's its cost is increased, it's uncommon, and it does more health. And I didn't need to use a separate script for that. I just could use the same script, because like if I show you, all it does is it calls gain health and then puts this variable in, and this variable changes depending on what we put in, here. So I did that for the bandages, for the powers, and the shields, because each one eventually will have bandage 1, 2, 3, power 1, 2, 3, shield 1, 2, 3. So I did that. It was very simple change, just essentially a name change and a reassignment of scripts. And I also added in the player manager, but this is probably going to move to the player controller, I think. Maybe not, is player power. And right now player power is set to 0, that needs to be set to 1, but I'm going to move it into player controller. And for instance, in the weapon script, I did this a little bit ago, so all this needs to change. But in the weapon script, so the stuff that the sword derives from, and the stuff that the regular punching derives from, because your fists and kicks are weapons. D&D monks, they're weapons. And it's what that derives from as well. So in main attack, it won't even check. It'll just times. It'll be weapon damage, and then it'll be damage, and then weapon damage times player power. So it'll do that. Yeah. So we just got to change a few of those, and I'll do that when I set up the change speed and change power. But first, setting up the demo chest, and it's just gone once, so I'll do a quick break. I know I've only been stream technically for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, but I put a quick break on. Let's do chat box. A quick break on, and then we'll get back to this. Yeah, see you in a bit. See you in like a few minutes. Go grab some snacks and drinks. Right, back in a minute. Hello. Didn't have my mic on. Hello. How are we all doing? Hopefully all good. Right. So let's actually just jump straight back into it. So, before the break, I showed you, or I sort of updated you on what's happened. Went through all the cards we can be doing. We're doing. I do hate how it resets. Sorry, I do hate how it resets the chat every time. Maybe I'll find a way around that. Who knows? Anyway, so actually, let's go back to full screen for a moment. Plan. So set up demo chest. We're going to do that just in a second. Then we need to create the change speed and change player power functions, and then we can start creating the other card abilities. And then there's a little reminder just to sort of think about the activation of consider the passive activation conditions. But you know, if we get to it in the stream, we can have a talk about it. If anyone's said to talk about it, if not, I'll probably just think about it off stream. But that's fine. So the demo card chest. Let's come back to this, and I am going to go back into here. So there are 24 cards available. There's going to be 5 in a card chest or a card pack, because it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering card booster pack. Card chests are booster packs. You get 5. These are what you're going to get in them. You can get 3 commons, 1 uncommon, and then 1 rare or above. And then you're going to get 1 armor card, and that armor card's finisher, and then 3 basic boost cards. If the armor card is going to be determined first, and if that armor card is of a rare, super rare, or legendary, then the 1 uncommon changes to the rarity that the armor card is. So what I mean by this is, so say we get the Chill Ice card drawn first. That is a legendary. But if we look here, it's 1 rare or above. So, and we need to get that armor card's finisher. And that armor card's finisher is all the enhancement cards are the same level of as the actual armor card. So the 2 Chill Ice enhancement cards are both legendaries as well. So, how does that work? So you can get 2 legendaries? Yes. Yes. It just replaces the next highest rarity with legendary or rare or super rare. However, because it's a common, and same thing with uncommon. I should have actually written it here better. But if you pull a common, then you're gonna get the. Oh, actually, that's a good one that I need to actually put into the script. What would happen if you pull a common? Would you change the one of the commons to an uncommon? I think that's probably better than changing. Yes, it would have to change. It's better to get more bang for your buck than to limit yourself. So you'll get a rare or above, but you get 2 commons instead of 3 commons. Yeah, okay. I need to sort of put that into here, but that's something to think about. So that's fine. So let's actually get to explain how that's done in... I'm going to turn this music down. Yeah, so that's just something to think about. So how are the card... I've already set up basically the card chests. So how they set up... they are set up via scriptable objects, like lots of things in this, because scriptable objects are really great. They're great for sort of replacing enums. That's how I was originally going to do the status conditions and the damage types as enums, but doing them as scriptables sort of makes things more expandable. So if we go into scriptables here, and then go to chest. Right now, we've just got Firewater chest. And it's of type card chest. Is that actually in? Oh. Yeah. Okay. it has the cost, it has how many cards it needs to draw, and then it just sort of sets out all the conditions it needs, and all the cards that are in the chest as listed, all armor cards, all enhancement cards, all basic cards, and so that's all defined in the script, so in here in the lists. So let's just go through and create one for the demo. It's not going to work fully yet, but let's just create one now just to sort of start ourselves off. So, already have a way to create one. Create card chest. We're going to call this demo chest. Did I call this one demo firewater card chest or firewater chest? I called it firewater chest. Okay, so let's call this one demo chest. I might come with a better name for it later than demo chests, because it is going to be in the game, but just in the demo, just only the demo version. So if you get the demo version and then upgrade to the actual full game or buy the full game, then you won't be able to get this chest because all the cards are going to be in the firewater chest. But the cards you do have from this chest will carry over. So it might be actually a quick, nice, and easier way maybe to get a couple of the legendaries that are available. So demo chest. Cost of chest. What is this? 100. We'll still make it 100. Ooh. Cards to draw. We're going to draw 5 cards, not 45. 5 cards. I can type. Don't worry about me. And then we, let me open up, let me just have this on my other screen for now, just so I can see it. So we want 3 commons, 1 uncommon, and 1 rare plus. Armor, so armor cards in chests, yeah, includes, yeah. So include armor cards. We want 1 armor card. We want its finisher, and then the rest, and then we want 3 basic boosts. Yeah, that will equal 5, and then we need to just add in the cards. The cards are here. All of these. So I think I can remember enough by heart. I'm going to lock this actually. Scriptables, cards. Let's do the armor cards first. So we want Dragonic Knight, Flame Fist, Irritating Ant, Rattling Snake, and we're going to put these in the armor cards. Then water. We want Pirate Captain. We want Danger Shark, Chill Ice, Water Wave. Those are all the armor cards. All the enhancement cards now. Cards. The option cards. I called them option cards. They're meant to be called boost cards. I played the Digimon card game, and like the sort of equivalent to boost cards are called options. Boost, yeah. Oh, that's gonna be a big. Every time I rename a folder with a bunch of stuff, and it's always a big change in source tree in version control. It's not annoying. Well, it is kind of annoying, but there we go. The fire enhancement cards. So, Dragonic Strike, Fire Fang, Burning Fire Ants, and oh no, yeah. So shit. That Burning Fire Fang. Yes, I think that's right. Dragonic Strike, Infernal Punch, Burning Fire Ants, Fire Fang. There we go. And then water. It is, if I remember off the top of my head, Pirate Captain, wherever the hell Pirate Captain is. No, it's not called Pirate Captain. It's called Bullseye Patch. Ah, fuck, I can't remember. Ah, terrible. There's fucking like 240 cards, and there's going to be more. So, like, give me a break. That was the wrong thing to open. What do I want? I want this. Infernal Punch. Fire. From the depths, cool up the drown. From the depths. From the depths. Where's from the depths? From the depths. Oh, hope you didn't hear that. Got a window open, or my back door open to let some air in because it's hot. So from the depths, cool up the drown. Those are those four. Dragonic, Infernal, Burning, Fire Fan, Bullseye. Yep. And then the remaining basic cards, there's 8 of those as well. So that is, and I will need to get some it up for this. So, Shield 1, Power 1, Bandage 1, Full Hands, Full Hands, Flare Boost and Aqua Boost, Hidden, and Energy Wall. 8, 8, 8. That should make 24. 3 8s, it makes 24, obviously. And now, so essentially that's all set up, and we could plug it into. That not save armor cards? That basic boost 3. Save that. I think I did. I do it on the other one? Hang on, let's have a quick. I thought you did that, but hope does that not save? It should save. Chests. Okay, no, it does save. Just went a bit funny. Yeah, still gonna make it 100. Probably for now at least, and also all these prices are going to change depending on balancing and how much draw power you actually take back from missions and things like that. So, but we'll just send to 100 for now. 888. Okay. So that's essentially the demo chest sort of set up. So now, what's needed is we're going to reorganize and change around the player power. Right now I have it in Player Manager. Don't like it there, so I'm going to change it. Let's yeah, okay. Yeah, going to put in Player Controller. Actions, ability, variables. I'm going to put it down here. Like that. Oh. It's so hot. It's really, when I stood up in the break, my disgusting, but my backside was was soaked. I'm sorry. Put that there, and then enable, disable, updates. We'll close the actions. Public void change. No change. What do we call it? Change player power. Also, what I will do is I will remove it from here because I don't need to initialize it there. I can initialize it in initialize. So base speed equals speed, and player power will equal 1. So many more errors, but that's fine. Let's just double check how the streams are holding up, because I don't trust I don't trust my internet right now. I mean, to be fair, I got really good internet here. But it just went down weirdly last time, so I do like checking, but that's fine. I probably shouldn't hardcode it there. I should probably set it to like a base play power. Fuck it for now. We'll do it like this. God, I'm a very wishy-washy sod, as long as it sort of works, sort of programmer, which I like. I know people do absolutely rip that to shreds, but fuck them, honestly. I've had enough of people's shit when it comes to that. So change player power. If we actually go back into Unity, there's going to be some errors because I already set up some player power stuff, mainly in the weapon and in the power card, where I just sort of change it manually like this, and I sort of wait for seconds. I want to change the wait for seconds, but I'll leave it like that for now. And in the weapon here, we sort of check if it's 0, and if it isn't 0, then we times it. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is, first of all, actually in the weapon, we'll just comment that out very quickly. What I do hate is my webcam is over a part of the Visual Studio UI where there's the mask code button. That's always a bit annoying, but that's fine. I could always move it, but sod that. Yep, so instead of checking, it's just going to times it every single time. I think that's fine. So damage will equal. In fact, I can literally just do it here. Float damage will equal the weapon damage times the that's plus times the game manager.instance player manager.player controller dot player power. So if it's just normal and set to 1, it's going to time something by 1, which means it's going to be exactly the same. That's fine. But if it's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, it's going to increment it a little bit. And so that's all we need. So anytime the player does some actual damage themselves, that will happen. So cool. And in this here, inside of power, and anytime we need to increase the power or decrease it, we will call change player power. So, 2 things. We need to bring in a float, and then that float is going to be power amount, and then we're going to also just do a bool for whether we want to increase or decrease it. So increase. Is that how you spell increase? I think it is. Hey, I didn't. Actually, no. I was about to say I didn't pass English. I fucking did. Not the first time round, but I did. That is. Yeah, no, yeah, that is. Fucking get with it, Toby. So if increase is true, else. I don't need anything more than this. I don't need anything more fancy than this. And I don't need I don't need 2 functions to do essentially 2 slightly different things. So I do need to think about whether I want to show the player power on the UI, because I'm showing obviously health and armor and the draw power, but I don't. This is sort of meant to be like a background variable, a background value. So I'm not going to show it for now, but yeah. I need to get a drink, and I didn't get one in the break because I'm an idiot. So literally 1 second. And then I'll be back in a moment. I'm back. Oh my god. Alright. I could feel my stomach killing me. Because I haven't had one for a while. But also, bloody boiling. So, I have the door. Too bad. It was a lot better. I just did some shopping. I did a weekly shop just before the stream. I was going to the shop if you saw my Instagram story. It was fine, but once you get back inside, it's like, how is it so hot? So I'm gonna actually just keep my fan on my lap. And whenever I talk, I'm just gonna fan myself. So, if we want to increase the power, so if it's set to true, player power plus, plus power amount, and then we just do the same. There we go. I don't need anything more than that. That's fine. So now, sorry. So now I can. The heat is really making me lose all sanity. I can call this function in power rather than, just directly setting it, which you don't want to really directly set variables in other script. You just kind of get a bit messy. You want to call functions to set them. So I do want to have a quick look at the power 1 variable, and we'd set it to 1.3. So I want to increase it by 0.3. So instead of 1.3, it's going to be 0.3. Because we're adding, we don't want to add 1.3 to 1, because then that's just going to be a too big an increase. So, not that. So player manager dot player controller dot change player power, and we're going to power and then true. Oh, one thing I really should stop fucking doing is put summaries in my code, and I know I don't, and that's the one thing I'm really bad at. I can comment. I say I can comment. That's my code in this instance isn't commented, but I just keep forgetting to do summaries for like big functions. There we go. Increase it, decrease it, and there we go. That should be all those errors fixed. And that should be, well, technically step 3, because I was meant to do a change speed variable as well. Are you okay? Steam. Not Steam. Unity. There you are. Okay. And then essentially I just want to do the same thing for speed, because right now in a script somewhere I'm changing it. So let's go to movement variables. Let's do base power as well. There we go. I am just making it a field just so I can see it change. I'll probably just, I mean, I might as well keep it, but I'm not, I don't really need to. I just want to see it in the inspector while this play mode is happening. This one I do need to access in play mode, because I'm going to set it in play mode. So player power will equal base player power. There we go. I've made people happy. And then speed, we are also going to change to essentially a property. There we go. And that should give me some errors. No, unit, come on. Oh, there we go. Because I swear I'm accessing it somewhere. It's either in Rocketeer. I could have sworn I'm accessing it in Rock. It's either that or Chill Ice, because those are the two passive. So Rocketeer and Chill Ice both give a speed increase. Well, luckily I am going to work on Chill Ice at some point. So yeah, initialize. Here we are. Yeah. So I need to change that to hang on. Should you be able to access that? It's not a. Hang on. It's not public. Well. Oh, previous speed there. Okay. Okay, regardless of that. Sorry, just got confused there. Yeah, let's just create the variable as well. Not variable, the function. Essentially going to be very similar to this. What I might do... I will just... I was thinking maybe just merging these and just doing create, change, you know, float or whatever. But I would do it specifically to change speed for now, because I may need to put extra things in here later on to do with you know, visuals or sort of things like that. Probably shouldn't. Change player speed. Rename to increase speed. Speed amount. Oh, I forgot to. So I should really put a deinitialize in all. Oh, I should put a deinitialize in all of these, shouldn't I? Yeah, that's something I'm going to do off stream. I think. I just realized rather than keeping the previous speed. Yeah. I'll write that down on the whiteboard as well. D in it for cards question mark. There we go. Right. So yeah. And also, instead of getting the player control like this, we already know a far better way of instead of doing get component and yada yada, we will just be able to get it like this, which is game manager dot instance dot player manager dot player controller change player speed, and we're going to ice power speed bonus, and then set it to true to increase the speed, and then I probably will add in a D in it in the armor card parents to change it, rather than setting previous speed and all that. Number one, let's actually also remove that, and also let's change this to sod it. For now, let's just do it like this. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Brilliant. So I think so I said this last time, but I created so in the parent armor cards, there's a function I can override called passive ability and trigger ability. Oh, thank you, Wyndham's, for subscribing. Very kind. Yes, there is there's an override method here called passive ability, and so the plan was to put all the passive ability stuff in there like a year ago when I thought of doing this, but then I realized some of the passive ability stuff, like the chill ice passive ability of a speed bonus, will just be set in the initialize, and then this will just do nothing. So I do need to sort of think about whether it's actually worth it to have this method here or not. For some it will be, because in the actual trigger ability I will be calling passive ability, and then they will do the percentage chance stuff for some of the abilities. But even then, maybe not, because I could just do it in trigger ability. So we'll see. I'll have a think about it, and maybe I'll remove passive ability. Maybe I'll just change it to de-initialize for all of them. Which would be annoying, but because I've already created a bunch of these fucking cards, scripts and scriptables, and I have to change it for all of them. That's neither here nor there. I have to do that. Things change. So that is change speed, and I don't think we access the speed. I already checked. I don't think we access the speed anywhere else. No errors. So that is 3 things checked off the list, which I'll check them off now. Oh, hello everyone joining. All of a sudden, I've just realised. Hello. How are you all doing? I hope no one's... Oh god, I hope YouTube chat isn't bugged again. No, okay, no one's... So, Streamlabs does this really fun thing where sometimes... So I have a multi-stream chat log. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it only does the Twitch chat. Because I'm streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. But sometimes it just doesn't post the YouTube comments. So got a big whiteboard here of the plan, and we can tick the first 3 off because we've done the first 3. And now we just need to start making some of the abilities. So let's have a look at our list of abilities and what we want to do. Here they are. So I think we've already done the Dragonic Knight and Pirate Captain. Those are the 2 weapons. So we've got others we can do, like Flame Fist. That will probably just use the similar stuff that the regular basic attack will use. Just it will change the damage type to fire and blunt. I'll change fire to heat because that's the proper name. Yeah. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, yeah. So the damage types, blunt, sharp, energy, heat, cold, yeah. So it does heat and blunt damage, punches. It's quite slow, but then... okay, let's make the Flame Fist ability. So I've already created the scriptable object for it, so we just have to go in and start creating it. Where is... It'll be in here, scriptables, Booyah Armor, Fire, Flame Fist Armor card. Here we are. Okay, so... And also, let's also actually get up the actual scriptable for it. So, scriptable cards, Armor, Fire, Flame Fist. So, it's a common... I've already done lots of the drop-down stuff. I haven't set the cost and stuff like that yet. So, the cost is the cost for the armor just to put the armor on. And then the ability cost is what you use, how much it takes to use the ability each time. Armor amount is armor amount, and then base damage and base cooldown and all those. So, it's a common ability. It's a common card. And Dragonic Knight is a uncommon, so it's just a step below. So, well, the body armors, the weapons don't have a base cooldown, but the other limbs do. So this will probably have a base cooldown of. See, it's going to do low damage, but let's set to 3 seconds for now, and then see how we go from there. What we sort of thinking? We are thinking cost. So this would cost 25. Let's say this is around like. I think I did some of the other. I think I did like Rocketeers around 20, and that is also a common. So let's do this around 20 as well. What did Rocketeer? Yeah. So ability costs. I do want this to be quite low, so let's make it 10. Armor amounts. I think actually armor amounts. Status or status? Status or status? I think armor amounts, that was at the beginning of the stream, is written in here, determined by what we're looking for. It's up here. Oh no, that's cards. Well, here it is, armor. Oh, actually, come to think of it, we did from. No, sorry. Well, I'm being scrapped. Sorry, give me. Fucking hell. What I'm looking for, I shouldn't just stay quiet, is I'm looking what I should make the armor amount. So each armor gives you an armor amount. That's a little value. That'll be in the bottom right-hand corner. So Dragonic Knight gives you 100 armor, and it recharges if you take damage. Rocketeer is 50. I'm gonna make Flame Fist 50 as well. Because I think I am doing it also by rarity. So common is 50, uncommon is 100, things like that. I think we got by 50. I think that was the idea. I didn't actually write it down in my game design document because I'm stupid. But I should probably add that. And then base damage. Is do I want it to be 50? Let's make it 50 for now. Let's make it 25. So say we get, well, it'll be 25 times. So it'll be okay. Let's actually change that to 50. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so every 3 seconds you can do a punch, which will do 50 damage. Times the player power, whatever that value will be set to. Okay, So there we go. Let's also go into the game, and so we've set up the going to the player deck, and right now we've got bandage power 1, shield 1, power 1. So we want to remove. Let's remove all of them. Let's add in Dragonic Knight. Let's add in Flame Fist. Oh, did you not want to do that? There you go. And let's also add in what was the other two? Irritating Ants and Rattling Snake. I don't even actually know. Let's just remove those. I don't know if I'm gonna make those yet. So we'll save the state, and then that'll save. So when we go and test, it'll only have those 2 cards, which is fine. So heat and blunt damage punches. Let's also go back to. Let's remove that. Remove that. Go to basic player attack, because essentially this is going to be a form of essentially be the same basic player attack, but just do slightly different damage. And what I mean by that is, if we go to prefabs and the player prefab, our lovely blocky boy here, this melee collider is right now just the area of which, if an enemy's in that's sort of the melee range where he's going to punch. I'll probably make it a bit bigger. And that's what the basic player attack is. It's just a punch or kick, or so there's no animations attached to it yet, because there don't need to be. But if you hit the basic attack button with no body armor card, it will do damage. So essentially it's going to be a version of that. So it needs to do burn and heat and blunt damage. And actually, I do need to double check that. Yeah. Okay. Something I haven't thought about. That is a good time to probably think about it, because we're going to encounter it. Is so when I set up the take damage function in iDamageable, you can only pass in one damage type at a time. So so do we? Here's what we think. Do we either only make it one damage type? Do we change take damage to take into account multiple damage types? I don't like that, because I still like how D&D does it, where it's and this is sort of the inspiration I took in D&D, where a single value, a single float of damage having multiple damage types, I don't think would make sense. So one amount of damage, one float of damage will be assigned one damage type, and then you just have to, if you want to do more damage types, you need to do more damage. So is this a case of, if we bring back the cards, because we're going to do 50 damage, is 25 of it going to be heat and 25 going to be blunt? Is 50 of it going to be heat and 50 of it going to be blunt? I think if we set this to 25, and also has how is player power going to phone shush, and also how is player power going to interact with that? because the player power will, times the damage by however much. So I'm going to go into calculation on my phone. So it's 25 times 1.1. Yeah, it will come out as the same value. Okay, I like how we're going to do this. So let's actually half the base damage, and then we just when we hit them, we will deal just 2 essentially take damages to them. Okay, sorted. Remember to talk things out if you have a problem. So let's also cover just a quick check at its passive ability, which is a percentage when hitting an enemy, the player power increases by 0.1. So in trigger ability, let's also open up. Because there are something. Let's open up Chill Eyes because we're going to work on it probably a bit later. And there are some things that we need to copy over. Which, granted, I don't like that I have to copy them over. Like, is ability active, but it's going to be in there anyway. And the cooldown stuff, all that stuff should probably actually be moved into Play Controller. I might do that off stream because we're just copying code over and over and over again. And we're, at this rate, because there's so many armor cards, we're going to be doing it so much. But for now, and that's going to be nothing going to write down, is to remember to move copied code into Play Controller. There we go. Silence whilst writing. God, I think I already said this, but these whiteboard pens said, dry wipe, low odor. They're fucking not low odor. I'll tell you that. They stink. Yes, we'll copy these in. I have to copy all this in. Stock cooldown. And there's so much here to copy that I'm gonna need to move it into Play Controller after this stream, because it will be ridiculous. And then at the start, yeah, I know. There's no bloody thing for, there we go. And then using. Hang on. If instead of doing that each time, if we go into here and then have this be using masks.system.managing, then go back here. You fucking better. Yeah. System.managing. There we go. I'll just remove that. Don't need that there then. Yeah, all this fucking copied code. Awful. We change it later. And then literally in fucking Chalice, this is the only bit of unique code there is, and essentially give me the same for Flame Fist. So what I might do then is change basic player attack into melee attack and make this a bit more generic. Maybe. Actually, yeah, how do I want to do this? Because I think I should reuse basic player attack and rename it to like melee player. Yeah, I'm gonna rename it to melee player attack. Yeah, let's rename it. Oh fuck! It's MELEE, isn't it? Melee, yeah. Yeah. So ME. There we go. Always forget which way around that is. Melee power attack, player attack rather. And then let's create an for now, let's trigger another numerator and then sort of shift things around how I want them, and sort of work out from there how I want to do this. So let's just make another public numerator. I'll probably be able to merge this into one later, but I need to sort of figure out trigger cards. Trigger card attack, we'll call it. And then we're gonna have to call it in here. Trigger. Oh no. In the main attack. Okay, so we're gonna have to probably change how some of things are. Okay. So yeah, it didn't. So that. Sorry, I just saw a YouTube comment and it didn't bloody come up on. So what type of game are you working on? Thank you. Sorry, that just took a while. Hopefully you're still here. I am making a action RPG deck builder, third person. Where you draw from a deck of cards and they're your abilities that you can use, and it's very sort of inspired by like flashy superheroes and things like that. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm basically just working on all the abilities now that are hopefully going to be in the demo. It doesn't look pretty yet because basically no art is in and just blocky man with no animations and stolen art. Obviously not going to be in the demo and in the release of the game, but yeah, that's what I'm making right now. God, I hate Streamlabs sometimes. It just doesn't come up on my feed, but that's fine. I'll keep the chat on screen so I do see if I get something. Thank you for asking. Right. So, yeah, if I do, see, I might. One or two things can happen here. Either, oh, actually, no, I do like this. I do like the idea of. We sort of create a game object variable, and that's essentially just the collider with the interaction script. I need to make like a generic one, but then it in the initialize it instantiates a prefab of that collider. Because there's going to be a bunch of different colliders for all different things, and they're all basically just going to be on triggers, looking for enemies. So I think what I need is a more generic melee player attack, essentially, which I'll probably turn this into, and then to spawn on a collider, or to use this one. I think I'm going to spawn it on though for now. Or I could get a reference to it in player control or player manager. Do I have a reference to it already or not? I do. Here it is. Basic attack. I'm going to change that to melee attack. So I have reference to it. Okay. Okay, actually, let's change it. Instead of instantiating, because I will need to instantiate some things, like I need to instantiate the weapon for the weapon cards and things like that. But no, I don't think I need to do it for this one. I just need to access that card. What? Yeah, so let's create a melee player attack called player attack. In the initialize, I will have player attack equal game manager instance player manager player controller and it's not public. Love that. Didn't see, let's make it public for now. We can sort that out later. There we go. So we can use that variable now rather than having to get it each time. And then we also let's also set up all the other variables. So we want we've already got the damage, and we're going to be we've already halved it. To 25, so in total we'll be doing 50, unless they're resistant to either heat or bludgeoning or both. Okay, I like that. So I'm not gonna do a list because there's only two. Yeah, there's only two abilities. So only two damage types. So I'm not going to get a list of damage types. So I'm just going to make it has to be public because I need to change it in the inspector. Public damage type. Heat damage, and now literally just make it the exact same one. Actually, I don't need to make it public, do I? I just need to make it bloody serializable. No. And then from heat damage. Did I... Actually, if we go back to the document and we go to damage types. Blunt. I didn't call it bludgeoning, it's blunt. Blunt force. A fist is blunt force, basically. Yeah. And then yeah, I don't need a list for two. I'll just set them separately and then yeah. Where are we at? Where are we at? Go back here. Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll just yield return null it for now. It's fine. Oh. bit dry again. And then we'll just add in those damage types. So, there we go. Oh, fantastic. And so I think that's all the variables we need. It's the damage, it's going to do 25 heat, 25 blunt. No, we need to... I am going to create a variable for... there you go, serialized field, and it's going to be a float, and it's going to be player increase. That it, okay, I need to check because I don't know why, but it looks wrong in this font, and I know it's right. I know it's right. Yes, okay. I know it's right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm tired, okay. And then that's going to be increased by 0.1 or decreased, you know, if... we will also have to keep track of float... total power increase. So when we increase the power, we also increase the total power. So if then we change cards, we can decrease it by the total amount we've already increased it by, because it won't stay if you keep the armor on, or if you take the armor off. So this needs to be 0.1 each time. Or each time for a maximum of 2. And that actually does remind me, in player controller, we do need to do a check for on both sides here of do we yeah, we'll just do it. So if we want to increase the power, if it's true, and if player power is less than 2, because that's going to be the maximum right now, then we can increase it. But that won't stop us from okay, so here we are. If player power plus power amounts so if it's less than 2, then we can increase it. But then if player power plus player amount will be greater than 2, we just need to set player power 2, and we'll just set it equal to 2. And then we essentially need to do sort of the same on this side, but with 1, because we don't want it to go under 1, I think. We don't want it to go under 1. That could be interesting. You lose power... Ooh! But no, because then if you're timesing something by 0 point something, you're losing power. Still could be interesting. I don't think we should do it right now. Yes, I don't think we should do it right now. So I will do checks for 1. So else, we'll do else if increase power is false. So if we're decreasing it, if the player power minus the power amount is less than 1, then we set it to 1. Is equal base player power. And then else. So if it's yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, that should stop it from going over and under. I looped that fucking music so much, but now I've got a playlist of 3 royalty-free, I hope, songs, background tracks. I think are definitely. I hope. Yes. So if play power minus power amount is less than 1, essentially, then we just equal it to 1. If it's not less than 1. Let's do less than or equal to. There we go. Just to stop any weirdness. Okay, I probably don't even need to redo that, but that's fine. Okay, cool. Speed. There's no. I mean, there is a minimum speed, is base speed. So I think we do need to sort of do. No, because we do want to be able to be slow, to have the slow condition put on us. Yeah, okay. Cool. So we'll leave that for now. Total power increase. Okay, so. Do I want to always call passive ability and then do the calculation for the percentage chance in passive ability, or do I want to do the percentage chance in trigger ability? No, because the percentage chance is going to be roughly the same each time, it's just with a different percentage. So I need to call it from somewhere else, probably a utility script, and then it, if it hits that percentage, then call it as a callback. I think we'll do that. Okay. Right, where are we at? In fact, it's just gone past second hour. Let's have a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back to this. I think that sounds good. So, yeah, be right back. Hello, hello. Okay, good, I am on. Right. Oh yeah, we did. Oh, shit, we did start late. Okay, so probably have to end the rounds. Okay, do another half an hour then. Ah, that's annoying. That's fine. Yeah, we'll probably end in around half an hour. So, fucking boiling. We will, carry on with the Flame Fist stuff. I'm probably going to start changing the melee player attack into something more reusable and go on from there. And then I probably will actually just try and bash through a bunch of these abilities off stream. We'll see if I'm able to. Okay, so let's get back to it. It's that one. There we go. Yeah, okay, my mic is switched on. Okay. What am I doing? Melee player attack. So, I want this to be more generic. Okay, let's turn down the audio a little bit. There we go. Okay, I want this to be more generic. I mean, it's already been derived from a weapon class because, like I said, your fists are weapons. If we go to weapon here, hold. Probably get rid of hold attack as well. Are we do? We'll keep it there. I don't think I've planned for any melee hold down abilities, but I could be wrong. Oh no, maybe shield. No, but shield. Okay. Ugh. This is what the game design document is for. I could look at that, but I no. So essentially, we need to call main attack twice on hit. But also keep all this stuff, especially keeping all this for trigger ability. For at least for the basic punches. Keep all the states. We're not having states for the Flame Fist stuff. Because it's got a cooldown and it wouldn't work. The states are only for attacks that essentially don't have a cooldown. But all this other stuff, Sphere Collider, yes. Okay, so we get the Weapon Collider, as we call it. We enable it when we hit. Are we triggering the ability from player control? Yeah, okay. And then we do an animation. I mean, actually, to be fair, I just realised we don't actually have any animation set up for the melee attack states. I just realised. But the states are there, and we do change the damage depending. We wait a second. Probably will, need to change that into something better. We disable the collider. And then we change the weapon states back to none, and then we change weapon damage back to base damage, and then the body is active. Faults. This can. I would quickly check. Do we have? No. Okay. First of all, there we go. We do that. And then instance dot play control, because we don't like limit as many get components as we can. I mean, we could also instead of doing it here, we could attach the weapon collider to. We could attach the weapon collider to, or get a reference to it from the controller, rather than just getting the component. Although this is on the object that is the weapon collider. Let's leave it like that for now. Okay. Right. This is why you probably should think ahead of your code, because then you won't end up in situations like this. But it's fine. Right. So, trigger, we do main attack. I don't like that we are driving it from weapon when I know I know I said your fist can be a weapon, and I stand by that, but I don't like that I'm using the weapon script as a parent for a card ability. So either I make that really generic and not just have it for weapons and make it for any sort of on attacks, any sort of melee attacks, because we're not using it for the gun, are we? Let's actually double check. Oh no, we are definitely not. No, yeah, because Parrot Captain Gun, we're not even using that at all. So this is for, yeah, okay, so new plan then. We change weapon into melee attack, a script called melee attack, and that will just handle all stuff to do with colliders and melee attacks and everything to do with that. Because all the projectiles, any projectile we shoot, will be shot through the scriptable, and then the projectile will just have its own script that probably will derive from projectile as well. Okay, starting to let us. Right, let's do some refactoring then. We probably won't even get to Flame Fist being finished, because we have like 25 minutes till I need to stop. I did say in all the fucking promotional material for this stuff, 12 PM to 4, and it's not ever going till 4 anymore. Or ever was. It's always going to for 3 hours. But I'll probably do one a bit later at some point. But I've always got things to do and job hunts, and because I don't want this to take up too much time. I need to be doing other things, voiceover and other things like that. So, but yes, right. So we're gonna change the name of this to something else, but I can't think of a good one right now. So we'll change this weapon into, first of all, we can essentially just delete Pirate Captain Gun, I think, because if I go, if I go back to here and go back to prefabs and go back to here, Pirate Captain Projectile. These don't have reference to Parrot Captain Gun, do they? No. Yeah, we can delete Parrot Captain Gun, I'm pretty sure. So let's delete that. Let's change weapon into melee attack. No, ooh, what did I do? Yes. Oh, hello. That changes those. Good. That's changed. Okay, good. And then a lot of this can sort of stay the same, because instead of weapon damage, we'll just do No, we need to actually rename it rather than just doing it like that. We'll call it like base damage. Yeah. 5 conflicts to be resolved. There we go. Yeah, okay, I did call it there. I'll rename that then. Let's. Do I have there? So just checking. Everything's good. Stream wise and everything. Seems like it. Okay, that's good. So base damage then would probably be removed. Or we would we'll set this base damage to whatever oh yeah, it's in the armor, into whatever the armor damage is. And then we'd use that. And then we'll set that bit. No, we wouldn't even need that because we just set it. Yeah, we wouldn't even need this base damage. Because we have the base damage there. Too many things of the same name. So that's fine. We can still keep the attack states. We can probably create 2 functions, one for multi-attack and one for single attack. Actually, I think that's what these can probably be. And then I need to say this all out loud just to make sure it makes sense in my head. The on trigger can happen. I need to. So one extra thing is, the one thing that I keep going back to in my head is let me just fan myself from it. Is obviously with the multi-attack stuff with the basic punches, it's just however many times you click the left mouse button. However, with Flame Fist, we do want to essentially call main attack twice. Well, I guess that can be in single attack. We can create, we can pass through how many times we want to attack. Or we can just trigger it twice. No, idiots, don't do that. Okay. List of damage types and base damage. And then how many damage types are... Yes, okay, got it. We do it like that. So we'll make this, instead of trigger card attack, we'll do trigger single attack. I was going to sneeze. Damn it, it's gone. I was going to sneeze. Fuck's sake. There we go. And then we'll make this trigger multi-attack. And we'll have to produce some stuff in play control as well. Actually, no, we won't. So in trigger single attack, we want the float of damage. Because we're gonna set it here. Do we? No, because then we're just gonna be setting it every single time. Or we could do it. I'll still pass in the float damage for now, and we can make it better. Make it better later. Make it better later. Get it working. Make it better later. And then we need damage types. We do need to also sort of worry about conditions as well, but I'll worry about that once I get all the damage, all this damage and basic damage stuff working. So we want a list, not layer mask, a list of damage type called damage types. At some point, essentially, we'll make a for loop. This melee player attack shouldn't be okay. It needs to be a non-trigger enter, doesn't it? Okay. Thinking through. Okay. We have to sort of reshuffle. Okay, let's reshuffle. So, instead of damage type, a protected, just regular damage type, we're going to make this a list of damage types. Then okay, cool. Yeah. I sort of figured everything out I wanted, I think. I say I figured everything out. I didn't last time, so I'm a fucking liar. Damage types, there we go. So, intake damage, yeah. So, for each, no, let's not make it a fucking for each, let's make it a 4. For the damage types dot count. I want to bring that in. So however many we're passing in. It's going to be a bit tricky. It's going to be a bit messy because we're going to have to keep clearing the list at some point. Because if we have the Flame Fist arm on, but no, or even if we have the Flame Fist arm and the Dragonic Knight or any other type of like melee attack, we are having to we'll get it. Let's do it like this for now, and then we'll make it better. I need that as a slogan, just scrolling at the top of the stream every time. We'll get it working now, make it better later. So damage types, brackets, yeah, and so base, yep, so base damage will times it, but yeah, okay. So that's fine. So and then weapon conditions is a whole other thing I'm not even going to consider right now. I'll consider that later. And so in trigger single attack, we want to get. I mean, that can fucking probably be done in there. So. I'm probably going to need to create another script for the. Could I make it a card scriptable and just not have it be a card? I suppose I could. I would have to change how the play controller is handling it because it's saying if the body is null, then we don't have any body armor on, then we want to do just the basic punch attack. And I would have to change. I wouldn't even have to really change that. Yeah, I could do it like that actually. Okay, I think that's how we're going to do it. So I'll create a card. I don't really want to do that though. I think I'm just going to do it in a non-script, not a scriptable object, and then attach that to the player as a basic attack. And so we're going to screw the base damage here. And we're going to not assign base damage there. Let's just work on trigger single attack. So we want to assign the base damage will equal damage and okay. And the what did I call it? I just called it damage types. Oh, okay. Let's change to damage types list just to make things a bit clearer. There we go. Damage types, and then damage types list. I've had trouble when just doing it equal to that, but I think it should be okay. I don't want to have to clear it every single time and then keep adding it. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Get it working, make it better later. I'll clear out the sub and I'll put a reminder damage types list dot clear change. There we go. You'll see a few of those little change, three exclamation marks around for stuff. They're like, okay, I'll make that better later. But because I started this project like a year ago, and I've only just come back to it again, forgotten. I need to sort of properly have a look and go like, okay, what did I actually want changing? What did I want to change that into? So essentially, and the big thing with this is we just need to turn the weapon collider on and off. And sort of wait. So normally what we would do is we good? Don't have that. And normally what would happen is we would wait for the animation to sort of go, and we would just, when we actually fit the animations in, we will, obviously change these scripts to implement them. But for now, we are just waiting a second, and then turning the collider off again. Weapon collider. Let's just set that up in. Let's just get that there. Let's just set it up in starts. There we go. Yeah, and then oh yeah, and then this is body active, so we have to change this to is something. We have to be able to tell. Okay. First of all, remove that. Turn on body slash. Again. Well, actually, because we're doing it in Flame Fist here. And also, oh, the cooldown as well. That's something I completely forgot about. Well, the cooldown will start immediately, and yeah, we do just have to double make sure that this will only turn on after, it's everything's unenabled and okay. So yeah, okay, that essentially should a basic version of that is now working. I don't like melee player attack. I like melee attack here, but I don't want to change this name to something else. Any suggestions, anyone? Not that I can think of any. Melee attack trigger. Let's call it that. Not the best name, but essentially that is what it's doing. There we go. Melee attack trigger. We'll call it that. Is the play control again a... Did we set that up, or did we not want to do that? No, it is doing it, it's... Yeah, melee attack trigger. We made it public. So in Flame Fist armor, for now we can instance dot player manager dot controller dot melee attack melee attack trigger dot trigger single attack. We're already enumerated, so we don't need to do start coroutine. And then we can pass in the damage, which is going to be base damage. And then let's make them a list, even though I said I don't want to. It makes more sense here now that we already set up the list to make them that. So we'll just do a list. Of damage type called Flame Fist. And then we'll put that into here. There we go. And that should be it. For like that should be it for the most fucking basic and janky version of this, ever. Yeah, we're turning on the body ability here for now, but that's going to probably hit. I could yield it, because I can yield coroutines till they're finished. Also, ooh, yeah, that needs to be above that, otherwise I won't be able to use any ability. So that's going to be something I need to remember. Fuck, I need to remember to do that as well. I'm actually going to write that on the actual whiteboard, because that's fucking important. Oh no, I'm running out of space. That's fine. Ability active trigger before cooldown? Question mark. Just as a reminder. There we go. Right. Is everyone else okay? It's almost like I didn't plan any of this, even though I have a whole planning document for it. Oh well. Right. Yeah, I'll remember that. So, let's have a look at all of this then. Let's have a look at the... Well, first off, I need to reassign the... what's wrong now? Jesus, oh, what is wrong? Oh, yeah. Yes, so... Ooh... Let's comment some of this stuff out and I'll fix it later. Oh, projectile uses weapon as well. I guess that makes sense. Shit. I think I'll just call it ability attack then. Yeah, and make it like really super generic for like any. Yeah. So right now we're just going to do that, and we'll call it ability. Let's just go back in. Let's just rename it to ability damage. Rename ability attack. Do that. There we go. And then we'll come back to that and then get those working. What now? Go. You better fucking error. You better piss off. You're pissed off. Flame fist damage types. Cool. We want two. First one will be blunt. First one's gonna be heat, and the second one's gonna be blunt. Increased by 0.1. Base cooldown. Okay. So, we should actually have the card in here now. We will need to look at... Oh, we need to set up the player because I... Ooh. No. Ooh, this is interesting. That's new. Brilliant. Let's comment you out. Yeah, shut up. There was another error, but we'll just see. Very interesting. Is it something to do with the player speed? Yep, yeah, it is. Ooh, yep, I set to 0. Well, yeah, idiot. Prefabs, player. Wait, where is... Ah, shit, what did... Okay, where is play controller? Here it is. So, speed... Has that just been set to 0 by accident? I forget what the base speed was. It might be in. And let me go full screen so I can have a look at my version control. I want controller. base speed hasn't really been fucked around with all that much. Why has speed just stopped? Okay, let's go back to the computer screen. We're not set, so the base speed. Yeah, base speed is going to be 0. Speed is always 0. I mean, I feel like that should be the other way around. I think I messed up there. Okay, let's make it like 5. Save that, and then let's go back and see what happens. That was, don't know what happened there. Jesus, that's slow. It was 8, wasn't it? I remember it being 8. Okay, I'll have to reset that, I guess. But that's fine. Right. Yeah, basic body check. That just goes through. So, now let's draw Flame Fist. Let's bring an enemy out. We'll just quickly attach that and then just make it. There we go. So this will take 50 damage. It doesn't have any. This will take. This will take. Melee collider. On player, do we have? Okay, yeah, okay, we need to. Oh, where's Melee collider? There we go. Let's go to the enemy. Okay. I like it when things don't work. Oh! Yeah, because the basic body is... And also I'm pressing left mouse button, and that's not even the key to use the ability. Brilliant. It was... It was... Okay. Does it think we don't? Let's do some debugging. Flame Fist. Let's just attach it to Unity and just find out if it's actually triggering. Okay, so it's not even triggering. Okay, so it wasn't. Why is it not triggering? The other powers worked. But this one isn't. Oh, where's the controller? There it is. Let's check. So let's go back into it again, and let's check. When I add a card, it is actually adding to armor cards on. Yeah, left arm. Left arm is Q, I believe. Yeah, Q. Oh, oh, there we go. Oh, God. Really not? Okay. Oh, don't want to do that. Oh! Have I fucked it up by... No, I haven't. Okay. We're gonna have to end this on a weird one, I think. Yeah, let's end it here. I'll have a think and see why adjustabilities aren't working anymore. They were literally working yesterday, and of course, when it's on stream, they don't. And I haven't even messed anything with the controls on them. Brilliant. Okay. Because it is what it is. We'll go back. We'll come back next week, and well, I'm going to work on this a bit more. But it is what it is. So what we'll do then is, yeah, we'll come back to it. Thank you everyone for joining. And I hate I have to do it on this screen. Who do we want to raid? We'll raid someone. We'll do full box again. Because he was nice and we talk. So we'll do that. Thank you everyone for joining. And I will see you all next week, hopefully. Don't forget to check out all my stuff down below, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, and see you later. Bye-bye.